Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Arpita Karwa and today we are entering into the most exciting and dramatic periods in English literature, and that is the Victorian Age. For those of you who don't know, let me tell you that this is a part of a series that I'm doing on YouTube wherein with every episode I'm covering one age of history of English literature, and we are looking at the major writers, major works and a lot of important details that can give you those extra marks in your UGC NET exam. So, when we talk about Victorian age, a very simple visualization would be to picture Queen Victoria sitting on the throne, industries growing like never before, trains running across the country, people moving from villages to cities, while science and technology making great progress, society at the same time facing major questions, big questions about religion, morality, and human values. That is what we can say Victorian society or Victorian era was all about. Writers of this time didn't just write stories, they actually opened our eyes to the real world problems that they could see around them. In today's video, we are not just going to look at the fascinating historic background of Victorian age, and we will not just dive into literary characteristics of this era. Just like all our previous videos, we are also going to look at the legendary writers and their most important works from where you get most of the questions. So it is important for you to stay with me till the end of the video because towards the end I'm going to talk about these writers. I'm also going to mention all the important works that you should completely mug up before you sit for your next net exam. With mug up, I don't mean to say you have to actually rattahoi and probably vomit it on the day of the exam. What I mean to say is that you have to dive deeper into these works because these are the works from where they are going to ask you in-depth questions. So you just cannot do a surface level reading of these works and you can tell yourself that you're well prepared for net. You have to ensure that you know so much more than just the summary of the work. So, if you want to understand Victorian age with me in the most easiest and most interesting way, then you have to stay with me till the end. So, let's begin the literary journey. But before that, before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more valuable content. This video is a part of a chronological history of English literature series wherein I have discussed all the ages so far till Victorian age. I began my discussion with Anglo-Saxon age, then we talked about age of Chaucer, Elizabethan, Restoration, Interregnum, and finally we are here discussing Victorian age with all of you. You will find all these videos in a playlist which is going to be there in the playlist section of my channel, so you can just go and check out all the previous videos. Alright friends, now that we know what the Victorian age looked like, let's understand what was happening in the society during this time. Because trust me, literature doesn't come from nowhere. It is actually shaped by the world around us. And that's why it becomes extremely crucial to know the history of Victorian age if you want to understand why the writers were writing what they were writing. So Victorian age, my friends, lasted from around 1850 to 1900. That was essentially the reign during which Queen Victoria was ruling because she started her rule in the year 1837 and it went up till 1901. It was a time of big change. Everything from how people lived, worked, thought, everything was shifting. One of the biggest changes that was introduced during this period was industrialization. Huge factories came up, machines replaced manual work, and cities became crowded. People moved from villages to towns in search of jobs. But this also brought problems like poverty, pollution, poor working conditions. And writers during this period, especially my favorite Mr. Dickens, started highlighting these real life struggles that generally people were facing during this period. Along with this, the middle class also began to rise for the first time. These people, these middle class people, were educated people who could afford books and had strong opinions. So literature became more relatable, focusing on common people, their emotions, and their day to day life. There was also a clash that happened between science and religion, just like we have seen during Elizabethan and during Enlightenment period, that science was gaining popularity. Similarly, during the Victorian period, there was a strong clash between science and religion. New discoveries questioned the old beliefs in which religion worked. While some welcomed science, others held on to their faith. This confusion became a major theme in many Victorian novels and poems. This was also the time when British Empire was at its peak. Britain ruled many countries across the world. It has been said that sun never sets in the British Empire, which means that उन्होंने इतनी सारी कॉलोनीज को अपने अंदर ले लिया था कि कोई ना कोई दुनिया की ऐसी जगह थी जहाँ हमेशा सूरज होता था, जब ब्रिटेन के अंदर अंधेरा छाया होता था और वो कंट्रीज ब्रिटेन की कॉलोनी होती थी. So sun never sets in British Empire. That is a very, very popular saying that depicted how strong colonial rule was getting at that time. Literature, if I talk about during this period, often showed imperial pride, but it also began to question the effects of colonization on both the rulers as well as the one who were ruled. And finally, if I talk about society, we cannot neglect but talk about the value on family and morals. So, a lot of people, they were extremely concerned about family and moral values. Women were expected to stay at home and be ideal wife or mother. This idea of a perfect home was praised in so many books, but slowly some writers started to challenge these roles and talk about women's struggles. So that is how Victorian society looked like. But before moving on, did I mention that I've created a special PDF that summarizes this entire video and provides you with exam ready notes? So if you are somebody who's been writing whatever is getting displayed on screen, don't worry, we have already done that job for you. Just drop a message on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screen, or click on the WhatsApp link that's there in the description box, and I'm going to send that handy PDF right on your phone. Okay, so now that we have understood what the society looked like, let's look at how literature really looked like during the Victorian Age. What were the writers writing about? What made their stories so different from the previous ages? Let's find that. So, the very first thing that I would like to talk about when it comes to the literary characteristics of this age is that writers in this age focused on real life. No more fairy tales, magical lands. They wrote about things happening around them, like poverty, factories, rich and poor, life of common man. They were using all these different characters to talk about serious problems in society, to ask important questions. So yes, literature became a tool for social change. Those of you who think that romantic age was all about basking in the beauty of nature, Victorian age gave a stark twist to the entirety. Victorian people believed in a lot of moral values, and as I just spoke about in the video as well, uh, you have to understand that their novels often showed what happens when someone does something good or something bad. The stories were not just for fun, they also gave moral lessons. Kind of like a story that teaches you something at the end. Fables जो होते थे पंचतंत्र की कहानियाँ, similar to that, but more realistic. The animals were not involved, humans were involved. So उसको ध्यान में रखते हुए ये जरूर देखा जाता था कि moral values को uphold करना बहुत जरूरी है. But wait, it wasn't all that serious and sad. Victorians also loved a little bit of drama. That's why sensation novels became popular. These stories had mystery, secrets, and shocking twists. Imagine reading a novel that felt like a crime thriller. One famous example of sensational novel is Woman in White by Wilkie Collins. So somebody was trying to do something different in the domain when everybody else was writing about dead serious and sad things. This was also a time, my friends, when print culture was growing. As we saw that middle class was rising, and so that their love for reading books, similarly newspaper, magazine, books, they became very, very common. Many writers published their novels chapter by chapter like a TV series. Just like आज के टाइम पे होता है Game of Thrones का हर एपिसोड वीकली आ रहा है. Similarly, उस टाइम पे न्यूज़पेपर मैगजीन्स के अंदर नॉवेल्स आती थी चैप्टर बाय चैप्टर, सो दैट पीपल वर glued and they were waiting for the next edition to come so that they can read what happened in the story next. So people would wait every week to read the next part, just like we binge watch shows today. So that also became very, very prominent, and that actually is going to showcase when you read the novels written during that period कि वो सब ना बड़े cliff hanging point पे खत्म हो रहे हैं, because they wanted to keep some hook for the readers, so that they keep buying the edition of that newspaper or that magazine every week. So in short, Victorian literature की अगर हम बात करें तो it was real, moral, thrilling and everywhere. It showed the truth, asked questions and kept readers excited and engaged. So that was about the literary characteristics. Now is the time to move on to the most interesting as well as most important part of the video, where we are going to look at the major writers who were writing during the Victorian Age. Okay, so now that we know the background, let's see who gave voice to this age through their writing. But before that, let me tell you that I am going to showcase the list of writers who belong to the Victorian age on your screen in a while. And if you need similar list for all the other ages, let's say Victorian, modern, romantic, Elizabethan, even post-colonial European, Indian writers, and if you need a list of writers who have been asked in NET exams so that you know where to begin your preparation, what to read, what to skip, then you can go to my website arpitakarwa.com. I have uploaded a complete list of writers divided into different ages, into different countries, further divided into poets, novelists, essayists, dramatists for every ages, so that you can begin your preparation in the right direction. And there is a exhaustive list of writers that a student must be aware of before he starts preparing for any particular age in English literature. And if you really want to streamline your preparation, I would really request you to go to my website and check out that list. That's the list from where I teach in my online course. It's a well updated, exhaustive list. If we talk about Victorian age from that list, so we basically have three kinds of writers. We have poets, we have novelists, and we had essayists. Drama wasn't very popular. Drama became popular again during the modern and the postmodern ages that we are going to look in our next subsequent videos. For now, let's stick to the Victorian age. And when we are looking at Victorian age, so we basically have just three major categories: poets, novelists, and essayists. Talking about the major poets of this age, we cannot forget to mention Alfred Lord Tennyson. Then we have Robert Browning. I always call him John Donne of Victorian age, because he's somebody who had John Donne kind of writing style. He was also somebody who used to bring in a lot of science, logic into his writing. When he is writing laboratory, he's justifying his actions. He's justifying why that potion is being made and why killing is important and why jealousy is so natural to the main lead. So, Robert Browning, of course, is a major poet of this age. Then we have his beloved Elizabeth Barrett Browning, who has written some beautiful sonnets. Then we have Dante Gabriel Rossetti, Christina Rossetti, William Morris, A.C. Swinburne, G.M. Hopkins, who gave Sprung Rhyme, and we have Edward Fitzgerald. So these are the major poets of the age. Then talking about major novelists, guys, the list is going to be very, very long. Let me give a disclaimer at the beginning itself, because what happens is that this was an age, as we saw, when common man started reading, and when a common man starts to read, he wants to look at society from different lenses, and that's where these novels became very popular. We have Charles Dickens, who wrote about industrialization and its demerits. Then we have William Makepeace Thackeray, who's writing about some philosophical ideas. Then they have George Eliot talking about Victorian values and how important it was to hold on to the Victorian values. Then we have some minor ones like Charles Reade, Anthony Trollope. Then we have the Bronte sisters, of course, Charlotte Bronte and my favorite Jane Eyre. Then we have Emily Bronte and Anne Bronte, who also experimented with a little bit of Gothic writing here and there. When you read Wuthering Heights. That gives a very different tone to the entire age. Then we have again a list of not so popular novelists like Bulwer Lytton, Charles Kingsley. Then we have Elizabeth Gaskell, R.D. Blackmore, George Meredith. Then we have some children writers as well, Lewis Carroll, R.L. Stevenson, William Wilkie Collins. And then we have our favorite Arthur Conan Doyle, who came up with Sherlock Holmes. Again, so just like I mentioned in the beginning also, that these stories were released in newspapers as a part of a sequence, right? So even Arthur Conan Doyle's Sherlock Holmes stories used to be published in the newspaper, and that's why you will see a slightly different writing style there. And then there's one novelist who is not just a novelist but also fantastic poet, and he's Thomas Hardy. So if you just know him as a novelist, I would really want you to go and read some of his beautiful nature poems so that you know how beautiful his writing style was. And then we have major essayists of the age, जिसमें हमारे पास में आते हैं थॉमस बैबिंगटन मैकाउले, Thomas Kyle, John Ruskin, Matthew Arnold, J.H. Newman, Walter Pater, and Oscar Wilde. Oscar Wilde was also a dramatist, but at the same time, I would also categorize him as an essayist because he was doing a lot of work in the field of essay writing as well. Now, friends, we are almost at the verge of completing this video, but I cannot leave the video half when there are these famous works which have made these writers unforgettable. And it's very, very important for me to tell you that list, though the list is exhaustive, but I have picked up few of my favorites which I would want to share with you, and these are the ones which are repeatedly asked in it. So if you are preparing Victorian age and you have less time, so at least complete reading these works, if not the full text, then at least the summaries, and make sure that you are well versed with these works. Okay, first we have Alfred Tennyson, and his most famous works are Ulysses, Lotus Eaters, Break, 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 and some of his minor poems. But these three are the groundbreaking works written by him. Next, we have Robert Browning. As I mentioned, he is well known for his works like Laboratory, My Last Duchess, Last Ride Together, Porphyria's Lover, Rabbi Ben Ezra, and Andrea del Sarte. Then we have Charles Dickens, of course, like he is known for his phenomenal novels, especially if I talk about the ones that are repeatedly asked in net. We have Oliver Twist, A Tale of Two Cities, Great Expectation, David Copperfield, Hard Times, and Bleak House. 6 novels hai. I think I have uploaded a couple of summaries on YouTube as well. You can just check out Arpita, Karwa, Charles Dickens. You'll get the summary videos. Because बहुत ज़्यादा important क्या होता है Charles Dickens के case में, to remember which character belongs to which work. There are so many characters in every novel, and कई बार ये लोग match the column देते हैं. They'll give you 4 books and they'll give you 4 characters and they'll ask you to match it. So if you don't know which character belongs to which novel, you cannot answer that question. So that's why it's very, very important not to just stick to the summary, but also know all these things on the tip of your fingers. So Charles Dickens की summaries बिल्कुल देखिएगा. I have uploaded a couple of them on YouTube. Make sure you go through the summary wala playlist also. It has all major summaries. These are basically some free videos that I have given to students. Otherwise, all the others are a part of my online course. Then we have Thomas Hardy, my friends. Thomas Hardy की अगर हम बात करते हैं तो definitely somebody who knows Thomas Hardy would know about Tess. Then we have Jude the Obscure, Mayor of the Casterbridge, and Return of the Native. ये 4 novels हैं जो आपको पढ़ के जानी ही जानी है. Again, पढ़ने से मेरा मतलब है आपके पास टाइम नहीं होगा, you cannot read the full text, at least read the summary. Plus, make sure you know the most important scenes that are there. For example, Tess के अंदर there's a scene where a letter slides, Tess slides a letter from the door and it just gets inside the carpet, and the letter is lost. And that creates a lot of problem in Tess's life. And that's the reason why ये कुछ iconic scenes आपको पता होने बहुत जरूरी है. And finally, we have Oscar Wilde. So Oscar Wilde के I would not recommend you to read the essays because again, essays नहीं पूछे जा रहे हैं. 3 major works है Oscar Wilde के जो repeatedly पूछे जाते हैं. You have to prepare yourself well for them. First is Importance of Being Earnest. Then we have Picture of Dorian Gray and A Woman of No Importance. These are the three fantastic works written by this man. So make sure you read all of them. Again, something that has been repeatedly asked in NET exam. If you're looking for video lectures wherein you can get detailed explanation of plot of all these important works of Victorian age, then you can consider online enrolling in my online course, the UGC NET English, because I'm proud to launch India's first animated video course wherein I have explained over 500 important plays, novels, and poems in an engaging manner. For more details, you can check out the description box as well. So with that note, friends, I would like to take your leave. That's it from my side for this video lecture. I'll meet you very soon in the next video lecture. Till the time we meet next, happy learning, keep loving literature, and stay tuned to arpitakarwa.com.